Welcome to Reflections, a program where we discuss values and virtues for the transformation of the individual and the society in general. I am Father George Ehusani, and I have with me in the studio one more participant at our workshop on eliminating sexual and gender-based violence. He came from Calabar, Eyeh, Esoso. Anah.
Anah, yes.
Good. And you are here in Abuja to attend this workshop on eliminating sexual and gender-based violence.
Yeah.
And for many years, you have been working in that area.
Yes, I do.
In community-based organizations, trying to look into these issues. Indeed, tell us, how prevalent is this sexual and gender-based violence in Nigeria? Because I don't want to take the figures I'm reading from the UN and from whatever. With your own experience as a Nigerian, how prevalent is this problem?
All right, thank you. First, I will appreciate Terra for inviting me to be part of the training here in Abuja. I've been looking for this opportunity at least to express myself and maybe to also contribute to the general public and those around me, and even to work on my CV and build my capacity. The issue of sexual gender-based violence is honestly, is something disturbing.
Very disturbing.
In short, it's been there from ages, and it has been affecting most of us, both the aged, the young, male, the females, those that are well-to-do, and even the poor. And if not properly addressed, it will also affect even the generation unborn. And from my point of view, and the years I have also worked, I have in particularly done a lot to address this situation, both in the local CBOs and the other IPs that I've worked with.
Before we talk about what you have done,
yeah,
you went to primary school?
Yes, I did.
You went to secondary school?
Yes, I did.
You went to university?
Yes, I did.
Now, tell me, what was your experience in terms of gender-based violence or sexual violence? What was your experience? Because for us to know how prevalent it is in the society, what did you observe? What did you see? What did you hear?
Okay. If I record aside from my school days, in our localities, most times you see where the male child.
Yes.
We always think, okay, they are the superior above a female.
Already as children?
Yes, as children. We are not even in school, but just within the locality. You see, guys, you see a kind of a barrier between the male gender and
Are
the
you
female.
saying that the 6-year-old child already has a feeling that he is superior to the girl?
Yes. In short, not even a 6-year-old child. A boy as little as 3 years old, 3, 4, 5 years old will tell you he's a boy. And there's some kind of things you do to a boy child, and will tell the cop, why did you do this to me? At least if you are doing this, do this to my younger one who is a sister. But I'm a boy. If you try me, I will treat you like a boy. So it starts from in short, right from our communities and even to the school.
For that child, you see, because in the church we say that a 6-year-old has not reached the age of reasoning.
Yeah.
So it means what the child is saying, child is simply mimicking the adult society.
That's what I said. It has been there from ages. So what we need to do now is to work on, honestly, the issue of sexual gender-based violence in Nigeria is high and is affecting us seriously. And we have a lot to do. We've been doing, we have worked, we have tried, we have done. So we have done a lot, but much is still needed. Yeah.
So somebody said, I think it's the Bishop Moran, who said, we need to begin from childhood.
All right. Nice. Sorry. Let me just cut you. In some of the organizations I've worked with, like the IP level, that was last year. Is it CCRN? I don't know if you've heard of a CCRN, that is Center for Clinical Care and Clinical Research. I've worked with them as the Eyeh Silver instructor. There's a program they did then, where they invite, it's called Eyeh Silver. They have Eyeh Silver for boys and Eyeh Silver for girls. Mm-hmm. Okay. So what they do is, which I was opportunity to be one of the instructor, we go schools after schools, gather boys in cohorts, educate them on the issues surrounding sexual and gender-based violence, and in short, train them on different skills. Doing that, in short, just catch them young. If you're able to mentor those children like that, there's no way they will grow up and maybe be brutal or be arrogant to the female folks.
Okay, let me center on you now.
Yeah.
What happens? What are you doing in your home?
My home.
Yes. What are you doing with the experience you have? And you are saying that this thing is very prevalent in the society. How are you ameliorating it from the way you are? Are you married?
Yes, I'm married.
How are you are married? Yes.
Yes, I'm married.
You married at Trinity, you said?
Yes.
How are you ameliorating it? How are you trying to prevent it in the way you relate with your wife and the way your kids are growing up? Yeah. How are you trying to?
Okay, like you said, from my household, first I would say, all the children I have, they're all boys by the grace of God. I have three boys, okay. And my wife, I don't see my wife as I don't take her as a, should I say, wife? I see her as my own, myself.
Okay. Which is what the Bible says. The two become one.
If I see my wife as myself, then why should I hurt her? Why should I even raise my hand or maybe use words that will reduce her?
But that doesn't mean you don't disagree on certain things.
That doesn't mean that. So if I'm doing anything, okay, maybe if I have anything, I'll just sit her down. We sit her down, we dialogue. We discuss it out, and we resolve it. That is just it. But I don't just
So you don't think it is proper to raise your voice against your wife in such a way that your wife goes and begins to cry?
No, it's bad. It's bad. Honestly, in short, it's bad.
That's violence.
No, it's bad. And honestly, I don't accept it. I don't do that.
What about the other way around? Does your wife sometimes scream at you?
Even if she scream, there's a way I address it. If you scream, two madmen can't stay together.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
That's a very important point.
Yes.
Two mad men can't stay together. So if one person is going mad, the other person has to calm down.
And as I am, I'm sure before 4, 5 o'clock, I'm already awake. I don't leave anything for my wife to do. I can cook. I take care of my children, dress them. I'm sure bathe them, dress them, take them to school.
Now, if you do that, don't your relations call you mumu?
No, they won't do that. They won't do that. They know the kind of person I am. I'm sure well brought up. So in the same thing I do, my other brother can do it.
So they don't see you as mumu for waking up and bathing the children and when your wife is still sleeping?
No, nobody will dare interfere in my family.
Nobody will dare. No, this is important because, you see, the struggle that many Nigerian men are struggling is the interference. So what message will you have for such men?
As I am, and even if you come to my house, honestly, I have a very short, we live in a very big, should I say, with other neighbors. But there's one thing I do, and I stand by it. I'll tell you, even if you hear somebody doing A or A outside, if that thing does not concern you, please try to respect yourself. And for those that are there, and by the grace of God, I'm like their caretaker in the compound. So once you call me, by my landlord, he gives you the opportunity to talk to the tenants there. I'll tell you, come, if you have any issue, please tell me, I will take it straight to my landlord. Please. For honestly, I advise men, I advise those short women, whoever that is concerned.
So in your compound, do you sometimes have issues of husband and wife quarreling and the man raising his voice?
I do.
You do have that kind of business. So what's your reaction?
I have them. And once I see such a thing, if you give me the opportunity to come in like a man, I'll try to meet you as a man. Because I won't cross boundaries to go and maybe talk to a woman. You know the way they react at times. So I will meet a man who is also like myself, then try to tell you, come, what really is the problem? If you want me to talk to you, I'll talk. If you want me to give you ways, I'll do. But if you don't welcome me, I'll quickly decline. I'll quickly decline. then look for other means of,
how it will be sorted
Yeah.
out. Now, you have 3 boys as children.
yeah.
How are you deliberately mentoring them to be like you in respecting women?
Those 3 boys, even before I left this morning, I was able to talk to all of them. As early as 5 o'clock, they're all awake.
Like you?
Honestly, they're all awake. We'll do our prayers together. And if one is sweeping, you come, you take care of the parlor, sweep the parlor. A second one is just 3, 4, 5
Yes,
days.
but there's something you can do.
But you can do something. Hey, his name is Elishama. Please just pick the towel, the hand towel. Try to dust
The dust
it.
of the
He will
table.
just be there playing, but at least he's doing something.
Yes.
Meanwhile, the other one, I'm just be roaming about, be making noise, but we are doing something. Nobody will just sit down and maybe be idle.
So by the time they get to 9, 10, 11, they'll be doing almost
Doing
all
something.
the housework.
And like the first one, if you are done sweeping all of that, you are already with us in the kitchen to prepare breakfast. So if I'm doing that, why would
Why
you
would
do
my
it? You
son
learn
do
from
it?
me.
Yeah.
And at times I will tell him, Daddy, today you'll be the one to cook. I want to eat from you. And I'll quickly rush. I'll do it. Daddy, please help us. I'll go to the market. I'll drive out and I'll go. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, so charity begins
at
at home. And if we ever want to change society, it must begin
At home.
at home. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that one of the problems that we see in the diaspora these days is that at home here people have nannies that do all the housework.
Yeah.
And then when our people now move over, there are no nannies. There are 3 or 4 children. The wife, who is also working, has to come and take care of these children. And the man says, I'm a man, I can't cook. And it is bringing problems.
It's bringing problems actually. By the grace of God, I won't call that boy a nanny, a boy I have in my house. I won't call him a nanny. I won't call him my house help or whatever.
It's part of your family.
Honestly, it's part of my family. Right from when I became a man, short. That's why in short I studied social works from university. In short, I always have this passion to help the less privileged. Mm-hmm. Okay. A few years ago, I was able to pick a girl from my not even related.
From your home.
From my home, or from my community. I took her up, tried to do whatever I wanted to do. In short, enrolled her in school, that is a secondary school. I did all I could just to mentor her. And my wife is a nurse. My wife is a nurse. I did all I could. But you know one thing, once I just woke up and my wife watch got missing. The phone we bought for her, the thing disappeared. And when I asked her, I said, come, what really is the problem? Where's the phone now? She got angry. The next thing she said, I want to go home. Honestly, I was worried. I tried all I could. But I don't avail. And I won't force somebody's child.
Who doesn't want to stay with you?
No. That girl slept outside that night. I ran to the station. Lady complained that night, but I was asked to wait. But a day after, she showed up. Honestly, I didn't wait for anybody to remind me. I took her home. And when I took her home, when I got to the community, everybody, the whole family, they were all shouting, crying. So couple, but I can't force her to stay with me. And because of that, I was forced. In short, I left her there. I said, come, this one is from my community. Let me go far, and pick someone else. I traveled to Nasarawa. The boy I have now is from the Nasarawa state.
And you consider that he is a member of your family?
A member of my family. He's even in a private school. Honestly, my children are in private school. That boy is in a private school, JS1. Right down, as we speak, he's in school. So if I'm so kind to take care of the one outside who is not related to me, then why should I?
No, one of the greatest offenses and scandals of many homes in Nigeria is that people get relations, niece, second cousin to come and stay with them in the village, to come from the village to stay with them in the city, and they treat the person like slave.
Oh,
I can't understand.
No. That is, if you ask me, I would say it's pure wickedness. It's devilish.
It's devilish.
Devilish.
And then some of those people call themselves Christians.
You see them mounting the pulpit. Most of them, you see them mounting the pulpit. You see them singing in the choir. You see them walking in the church.
How is it that how can you bring a 10-year-old child to your house? You have another 10-year-old that is your own baby, and you treat this 10-year-old that is not your baby like a slave in the house. And then your children are watching it. And your children go out there to recognize that there are those that are privileged and those that are not privileged.
You know what really happened? Still on that my son, because I call him my son. And he dare not call me uncle or sir. He calls me daddy.
Yes.
And if I hear anyone say, okay, hello sir, your boy, I'll tell him, come, that man you are seeing there is not my boy. He's my own son. As they are, in short, as he is, if I'm eating, we eat together with my children. If they have their own cup of tea, you take your own, we share from same pot. At times, even if we've not close from wherever we are, we send them, please go to their house, go with the kids. Go with the kids, look for whatever you guys will eat. In short, he has access to the fridge, he has access to the pot. They eat together. And immediately we brought him, I told my other son, my eldest son, I said, come, have you seen this young man? This man is not an outsider, but he's your eldest, in as much as this house is concerned. And if I was given the opportunity, I would quickly say, come, please, let's change the name of Elsa or Timothy to my own name. Honestly, it's my son. It's my son. So,
why do you think that Nigerians find it so difficult to do that? Why do they find it difficult? And I'm even talking of people, not just people they brought from the village.
From the village.
Actually, a distant relation of theirs.
The thing is, we don't love ourselves.
It's lack of love. That's why you said it's wickedness.
Wickedness. Devilish. We don't love ourselves. If I love, I'm sure the Bible said, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So if I don't love my neighbor, how do you expect me to be kind to him? That is the same thing that I'm sure we have in our communities. We don't love ourselves. That's why you see one thing why we're having this in Nigeria is maybe in our localities is the rich, they tend to see the poor as second class citizens, or like if you are poor you are foolish, if you are poor you are wretched, if you are poor you don't have anything,
you don't have sense.
You don't have sense. If you are poor, I'm sure nothing good comes out from you. And that's why we keep treating the less privileged, the poor, as if they are nothing. And until we are able to work on it and maybe create a balance of couple, honestly, because you are poor doesn't mean, okay, something good will not come out from you.
And that the rich is a matter of just opportunity.
It's an opportunity.
I mean, there are people who are rich today, they were not more intelligent in school.
No.
It's just that their fathers or mothers were in position.
Yes. And that's why I appreciate some of us that are starting from the scratch. Honestly, it's not easy. So once you're at that level, there's no how, if you see one who is also maybe poor or less privileged, you try to help that person because you've been in that, I'm sure you've been in that situation.
I hope you know that a lot of Nigerians who are in position today, they are from villages.
Yes, yeah.
There are some people that it is the community that contributed money for them to go to school.
Be educated.
And then they became privileged and they forgot that community.
Yes.
And they start treating people as if
they're nothing.
Yeah,
it's true.
I mean, the way a lot of leaders, whether it's political leader, religious leader, and so on and so forth, who can live like kings and queens and forget those they left behind.
Those they left behind. Their origin.
Yeah.
They do.
So now tell on the training, on how have you found the training so far?
Okay, honestly, this training, I've been able to benefit a lot because first, I have built short. It has increased my knowledge on how to strategize and maybe address the issue of sexual violence around within my community and maybe the contract large or the state. I've done a lot, and I intend to do more with your support, the support of the organization.
So what kind of thing do you think you can do? You are already doing some work before.
We already.
What kind of thing that you can do to on account of this training that will scale up what you were doing before?
I came in as short from the religious background, and by the grace of God, I'm a member of the Catholic Church, CMO. Sorry, yes, CMO, the Catholic Men Organization.
CMO, yes.
So I intend to, at least if I'm going back, I should have 1 or 2 persons I should talk to, and within the forum, we'll create a forum where we'll be discussing such issues, this matter. And aside from that, my organization that I have worked for, although currently we don't have any project, so if possible, I'll try to bring most of those staff. We'll do a kind of centralization
and have a network.
Yes, a network, and also partner with other organizations. Work with them, have a network. If I have a case, what do you do? I refer this case to you. Maybe we visit churches, schools like the I Am Saver. If possible, I can at least work on same thing, introduce same thing. If I need to take it to myself, visit schools, I need to, those boys.
Yes. There's a lot that individuals can do.
Yes, that is the boys. I need to catch the boys. If we're able, most of these things comes from the male child. So if we're able to address it through the male child angle, that is bring them, try to educate them, say, come on, these are the steps. You don't need to do this. You need to do this. If such a thing comes up, let's address it this way, and show them business skills, other skills.
What some people do to the female folk, they won't be happy when other people are doing it to their own children.
Their own children.
So, what is the problem in the brain, in the mind, that you do it to somebody's own daughter?
Yeah.
You do it to a wife, you do it to somebody's own daughter, but then you won't tolerate it when somebody does it to your daughter.
It to your own child.
Why the distinction?
Like I always say, from the beginning, some persons are, should I say, that they have their conscience is already dead.
Dead conscience.
Dead conscience. So if you have a conscience that is dead, how do you expect such a person to maybe think reasonably and to act the way a normal human being should act?
Conscience is dead, but also perhaps something is wrong in the psychology, in the brain.
In the brain, yes.
Apart from being, you use the word wicked. Apart from some people being wicked.
Devilish. So some persons, don't think of think about the future. Now you defending your child and not doing such a thing to maybe child A, and you don't want the parent to child A, or you don't want child A to do such a thing to your own child. Forgetting that one day you definitely leave.
Yes.
When you leave, who will defend your own? When you've committed so many atrocities already. So who will defend your own? Nobody. They fail to reason it that way.
Esoso, I want to congratulate you for the effort you are making and for the example you are giving in your family life. And I just like what you said when I said, what happens if your wife is very angry with you and you say, well, two mad people cannot survive the same environment. So to recognize that, I mean, and I hope our viewers recognize that, whether you are a husband or you are a wife, aspiring husband, aspiring wife, just know that two mad people can't make it together. So when one is mad and you are the first to recognize that the other person is mad, you are the one to calm down.
Calm down. And if possible, you just leave.
Thank you. Walk out of the environment immediately. And calm down perhaps when the other person would have calmed down.
Calm down. And you dialogue.
Two mad people cannot, you can't do dialogue with two mad people.
Yeah, you can't.
So on this note, we'll be bringing this discussion to an end. I've been speaking with Esoso Anah, who is a development worker, Calabar based, and who has told us what he is doing as a person to make sure he raises a family where there is no sexual and gender-based violence, teaches his 3 boys to do all the housework so that they won't grow up to say, I'm a boy, therefore I will not do any housework, to look down on any female. May the Lord grant us, a lot of our young men in Nigeria, grant them the grace to see this clearly, to see it, using his words, as wickedness. The way the female child is treated in many places, to see it as wickedness, and to have the love in our hearts in order to have love for others in our environment. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you,
I pray that the workshop you're doing at Luke's Terra will bear fruits when you go back.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.